exactly clear. The crowd here includes religious groups as well as political parties that are using this case as an opportunity to voice their anger against American policy in the region that they say has caused instability inside Pakistan. The government here is worried that if it doesn't do something soon to subdue the anger, then protests like these could be seen across the country in much larger numbers. The crowds here, these organizations, these groups have a great deal of street power and a great deal of sway with the public. They've also made attempts to stall any kind of deal being made that would allow blood money or compensation to be paid to the grieved families in exchange for Davis's freedom. Any deal like that simply wouldn't sit well with an angry public that is calling for Davis to be hanged. For protesters here, it's one thing for the United States and Pakistan to make deals over major policy, but an American citizen gunning down two men in the street, even in self-defense, is just one step too far.
All right, all the sport in just a moment with Rahul, including this. Well, the excitement building as the first match of the Cricket World Cup approaches. Not fast enough for these people.
Thrilled by the speed, be delighted by the tastes, be inspired by the sights, and enjoy the hospitality. The Muscat Festival. It's here, January 27th to February 24th.
Qatar, through Qatar Petroleum and its partners, has been adopting ambitious plans aimed to expand its exports of natural gas in its liquefied form into remote international markets and to supply piped gas to regional markets. In implementing those plans, Qatar has been benefiting from its strategic geographic location and the relatively low cost of producing gas from its territories. Qatar Petroleum.
The Pyongyang Film Academy hosts some of North Korea's brightest young stars. What does it take to serve a national propaganda machine? 101 East examines the privileged lives of the country's elite. 101 East, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Rahul, sports time.
Thank you very much, David. We may have had the opening ceremony, but we're still awaiting the first match of the Cricket World Cup. Bangladesh will host India in front of their impassioned supporters on Saturday. And while the home fans can't wait for the action to start, the future of the game they're watching remains uncertain. Andy Richardson reports from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh cricket supporters seem to be enjoying their first World Cup experience. The event's rambling three-country format has been criticised, but it's given these fans and their team a co-hosting chance they might otherwise not have had. Bangladesh have the advantage of playing all their group matches at home, starting with Saturday's opener against India.
I think all the teammates will be very happy to know that the crowd behind us and that they will be, the whole crowd will be cheering for us. So I think it's a very good sign for our cricket.
The bigger picture surrounding the preparations for this opening game is the future of the 50-over game itself. This is the first World Cup since the emergence of 2020 and the seemingly all-powerful Indian Premier League. The success or otherwise of this competition will give us all a much clearer idea as to whether three different versions of the game really can coexist.
It is certainly the flagship of 50-over cricket. With the backdrop that you point around 2020 cricket, it just gives it that more importance in that we want to ensure that all three formats survive.
But while the next World T20 event will be expanded, the ICC have said the 2015 World Cup could well feature just 10 countries. The players, though, aren't ready to deliver the 50-over game's last rites just yet.
I think it's an ideal mix of, both Test cricket and T20 format. And what has happened right now is, it's getting more and more interesting with most of the teams, looking to score close to 300 odd runs, which more often than not nowadays is not considered a very safe score.
This event then, not quite on its last legs, but definitely in need of the sort of kick-start this opening match could provide. Andy Richardson, Al Jazeera, Dhaka.
Now, Pakistan's Shoaib Akhtar is already in trouble, and the tournament hasn't even started. He's been fined for breaking a team curfew while in Dhaka. 36-year-old, no stranger to controversy. He was thrown out of the 2006 Champions Trophy for failing a dope test, while a year later he was sent home from the World 2020 in South Africa after attacking a teammate with a cricket bat. That's it,
Thank
David.
you very much. Following a developing story in Bahrain, where we understand that live ammunition has been used to fire on crowds, claimed that it was fired by the army and that there are many wounded. Doctors say the scene at the hospital is chaotic.
Hello again. Well, still for South America, there's lots of wet weather with us at the moment. Here's a satellite picture, and you can see these bright white areas of cloud here in the west, particularly heavy there just to the north of Lima. Torrential downpours out of that, and that won't help the flooding situation that we've seen in many of these South American countries over the last week or so. So yet more wet weather is on the cards over the next few days, and not only for the western parts of South America, also further east as well. For the northern parts of Brazil, it's going to be very, very wet, and also down further south through parts of Paraguay and into the extreme southern parts of Brazil as well. Buenos Aires, though, here we should get away with a fine day, and it will be warm. 29 degrees our maximum. A bit further east, and of course here, we've still got the remains of a cyclone with us. This one is Benguisa, gradually now running away towards the southeast. It's still throwing lots of wet weather, though, around Madagascar, heaviest in the east there, and also for the northwestern parts. And then this links all the way back through Tanzania and across into Angola. Torrential downpours out of that as we head through the next couple of days. Meanwhile, up towards India, and for most of us here, it's fine and dry, just a bit of cloud there in the east. But really, it's the northern parts and through parts of Pakistan and Afghanistan where we've got lots of wintry weather at the moment. Here in Doha, though, it's going to get a bit fresher.
How many festivals around the world can offer visitors the opportunity to watch cyclists push themselves to the limit, to taste delicious traditional Omani cuisine, to be inspired by cutting-edge Arabic fashion, to experience the thrill of the fastest sailing competition, or to simply enjoy traditional Omani hospitality? Whatever you choose to do, the whole family will be inspired by an event rich in experiences. The Muscat Festival. It's here, January 27th to February 24th.
Breaking news out of Bahrain, where street protests, we understand, have once again turned deadly. A number of people reportedly killed in Bahrain within the last hour or so as shots were fired at anti-government protesters. Now, we understand this was at the end of the final day of mourning for the first victim of the shooting. It was in Manama, that's the Bahraini capital, very close to this roundabout, Pearl roundabout, which was where the police went in the other night and broke up the protesters' camp.